Hello everybody, England versus Netherlands, Euros semi-final. England with the opportunity to get to their second Euros final in consecutive tournaments. I say we've still got to win it, but it's time for change. How would you line up against the Netherlands? Will he stick with the back 5-3, whatever you want to call it? Will he make changes that surely have to be made in 3 key positions, maybe even 4? Or will we see the same Southgate England where we struggle and it's pure vibes that get us through? Because I tell you what, I still sit here believing that we have to win this tournament. I said it before, I'm saying it now. With the players we've got, with how easy it's been on our side of the draw, we've got to put ourselves in a one-shot lottery against Spain or France and just see what happens, because the pathway to the final is a piece of cake when you look at the players that we have. But I look at the way we've played in this tournament, not very well, and the only time we've responded is really when we've gone behind. And I think what the players do is they go, forget Southgate's crap tactics, let's just do what we do. Vibe football. It worked against Slovakia, and it certainly worked against the Swiss. So against the Netherlands, look, I don't really think the Netherlands are a massive improvement on the Swiss. I really don't. Just very quickly on them, they've got some good players. You know, Van Dijk's very experienced. They don't even pick people like Van der Ven and De Ligt. So defensively, I think they're strong. They don't pick Frimpong. They've got some good players on their bench, but I don't think they've got many goals in them. I really, really don't. The fact that they've got another manager in international football who gets obsessed by certain players, I don't think Memphis should be starting for them. I don't think he offers a lot. I think they're very, very beatable when you look at the players that we have. However, we've got a manager that is not going to make the changes. Look, I think my England lineup very, very quickly tomorrow. Would I play with a back 4? You know, I'm actually conflicted here as to what I would do, because I think the back 5 when Saka's the right wing back almost makes it a back 4 anyway, because Kyle Walker can move across. So whether you perceive it to be a back 5, you know, whatever, what I would do is I would go Pickford, Shaw and Saka as those wing back wingers, whatever you want to call them. Walker, Stones, bring Guehi back in. I'll then play Rice and Mainu, of course, and then I would play Palmer and Bellingham behind Tony. That's what I would do. I think that's how I would line up. And look, if you want to go to a 4, you've got Shaw, Walker, you've got Guehi, Stones, you've got Rice, Mainu, Bellingham, push Palmer to the left, Saka on the right, Tony through the middle. So it can be a lot of things. I was so tempted to put Trent Alexander-Arnold in the team as well, to be honest. I really, really was. I think that, you know, I think he should have been in the England team. But I think banging on the door, knocking the door down, Luke Shaw, Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney, all would start if Pep was in charge, if I was in charge, if you were in charge. We've got Southgate in charge. Never in a million years will he drop Harry Kane. I don't think he's going to drop Phil Foden either. So Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney, who've been massive parts of of England's success in getting through. You know, Tony was very good in extra time against Slovakia. Very, very important role in the Swiss game as well. And Cole Palmer's done really well since he's come on. But this is not about what you do as a player. This is not about performance. In club football, it is. It's about form. It's about performance. In international football, it's about, you know, who you know. And Southgate has created that regime. I think it was the same with Martinez in Portugal. It looks a little bit like it with the Netherlands. And I certainly think it is with France. So I think that we will see a team that is basically, for the 3, 4, 5, 6th game in a row in the Euros, I think he'll pick the same 10 players out of 11. Kane will start. Foden will start. He will probably make Shaw left back, and I suppose Guehi would come back in actually. So yeah, obvious changes. He'll start with 9 and make 2 changes. That's what I think he will do. But as I've said before, I don't really understand it. Like, we've not won a major tournament since 1966. You know, what is that? 34 plus 24 is 58 years. 58 years since England won anything. And we should have won things. I mean, I was listening to what Luke Shaw said yesterday. I'm a big fan of Luke Shaw. But he was basically saying, I don't understand the criticism of Southgate. He gets the best out of us. He's doing a great job. We all love him. And I'm like, but that's what a cult is. And I'm not, cults can be seen as a negative thing, but you're not playing well. Like, you don't play well, and he doesn't get the best out of you. Phil Foden for England is not Phil Foden for Man City. Harry Kane for Bayern Munich is not Harry Kane for England. He's not getting the best out of you. You just like him because he does things that you like. Like, he picks you all. He creates a nice environment. He's a nice guy. You like him. But coaching isn't about being liked. Luke Shaw didn't like Jose Mourinho, but Jose Mourinho's CV compared to Southgate shits all over it. So they like Southgate. You've got a goalkeeper who's kicking the ball long 20 times a game. It's like I'm living in 1988. So there are huge areas of improvement. And I don't care whether the England players like Southgate or not. What I care about is if we win this tournament on Sunday. And that was always what I was going to say. If the FA want to give him a contract because he got us to the semi-final or the final and lost, they're idiots, because that happened at Wembley a few years ago. It happened in the quarter-final of the World Cup. This team should win this tournament. I said it at Christmas. I said it in April. I'll say it now. This team should win the tournament, and we must not lose sight of that because we won a penalty shootout or we scraped through in extra time against Slovakia. This team should win this tournament, and anything less than that is a failure. We have to win this tournament, and that's all I'm bothered about. So when I look at the team and I see people saying, well, he won't drop Harry Kane, he won't start Cole Palmer, I go, well, I'm not putting up with that. Why should we put up with that? Like, why? Well, we will have to put up with it because we're not picking the team. I respect that. And maybe we can win this tournament with Harry Kane and not picking Cole Palmer and Ivan Toney. Maybe we can. And if we do, everyone's a winner, baby. That's so true. But it doesn't mean that you can have concerns. Harry Kane, we've spoken about it. He's played badly in an England shirt for 5 games. Who is he? Is there a statue of him in Trafalgar Square? It's Lord Nelson, not Lord Kane. Like, he's a footballer who's not playing well, and there are 2 other strikers that deserve a chance. I don't get why he's undroppable, other than the fact that Southgate picks his favourites. Like, there should be a demand to drop him, because if you're dropped, you're not sent home. You're on the bench to come on in a game that probably will go to extra time. So I think these changes are logical. It's not the end of the world. If you do drop Kane and Foden, you can bring them on. I've got a massive amount of sympathy for Foden because I just don't think we get the best out of him. And I think he's a fantastic player. But Cole Palmer at the moment seems to offer more. And I think Toney would offer more than Kane. So if we go out because he didn't pick those players, then we know why. If we scrape it through, then he's right. If we play really well, then he's right. But the Netherlands are there primed to be beaten, in my opinion, and I would make changes. Luke Shaw will come in. It's funny, isn't it? I suppose I'd put it like this. Why is Trippier getting dropped for Shaw? Because Luke Shaw is one of Southgate's favourites. Why is Kane not being dropped for Toney? Because Harry Kane is one of Southgate's favourites. Why will Foden not get dropped for Palmer? Because Foden is one of his favourites. And what we have here, and we've been talking about this for years, we have an England team that's not based on form or ability. It's based on favouritism. Like Luke Shaw Trippier has been a loyal player for Southgate for years, but he will get dropped because Luke Shaw is his favourite at left back. Kane will not get dropped because he's his favourite. And that's why we know the team tomorrow will have Foden, will have Kane in it, and it won't have Toney and it won't have Palmer because he'll go with his favourites. But it's a dangerous game because if they don't play well, everybody knows they weren't playing well, and it could cost us. I don't think it will against the Netherlands. I think in the final, look, on Saturday when I do this for the final, if I'm doing it, and we're playing Spain or France, I'll be saying, this is ridiculous. It doesn't really... When you run a race and you come second, it doesn't matter. All that matters is first place. So if he's going to... If we get through against the Netherlands and Kane doesn't play well and then he picks him in the final and we lose, that's what I'm worried about, because I think we're so much better if Harry Kane's playing well. But he's not. So I would play Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins because I think they will play better. And that's my point. The risk factor of picking favourites is dangerous when they're not performing and there's players that deserve a chance. Anyway, get your comments in below. Big game. We're live tonight for Spain-France, who will be playing England in the final, because I do think England win this, and I've had a great run. I said all week we'd beat Switzerland. I said we were going to win them penalties. I was never been so relaxed, and I'm really confident we're going to beat the Netherlands as well. I think we're better. So, Spain-France tonight, live watch along. Join me for that. England tomorrow. How would you line up? Do you, some of you might agree. You're talking out your arse, Mark. You can't put Tony or Watkins in. You've got to play Harry Kane. You've got to play Foden over Palmer. It's experience. Southgate's right. Get in the comments. Let me know. Smash a like on the video and subscribe. I'll speak to you later.